Hey everyone, I wanted to share an update with you. I know we've been awaiting news about the Edinburgh Scholarship, and I wanted to share that we did hear back that he did not receive it. And this might have meant saying no to the PhDs, but he reached out to his main supervisor at Aberdeen and asked if it would be possible to do the online program instead and switched to being an online student. And kind of surprisingly, he said yes. And in his response of saying yes, he mentioned that he does online programs with both full time and part time students and tries to make it as good of an experience as possible. And when Zachary heard that there was also a part time option, he asked if it would be possible to be a part time online student. And again, quite surprisingly, the supervisor said yes, which is pretty amazing. Most of the time, if you are going to be a part time online student, you'd have to put in a whole different application to the school, and those applications would be looked on much less favorably by the review board for accepting students. So we, he applied originally with full intent of us hopefully being able to go to Scotland and try and raise support for that. And while we have raised over $10,000, thank you all so much. We're at over $11,000 now, and it means so much to us that you guys have been so generous with us. It's not enough to get us over there, and without the scholarships and large federal loans, which were not approved for us, um, we just can't get over there. So the fact that God has opened this door for him to do online part time is a huge answer to prayer and demonstrating, God's hand still in this journey. And so we're excited that he is planning to accept this offer and start this fall part time online. We did find out a bit of a hiccup, and I mentioned we didn't get approved for federal loans. That's because the online programs for international students do not get federal loans from the US. So we will be having to apply for some part time, or I should say, some private loans to cover some of the tuition. And that would be for the future. For this year, thanks to your generous support, we have enough to cover for most of this year, and then we are planning to be able to cover the rest ourselves with just, what we can make extra from working. Zachary is doing part time because that allows him to watch the kids while I continue to work full time, and he can also work part time. So we will be having very full schedules, but we are very enthusiastic about him having this opportunity to start the PhD program, which has been a huge dream of his and the major next step in his goal for career and ministry as a theologian. So we are, one, wanting to thank you all for your support so far and ask if you might continue to support us by sharing our story with others more and more. And if any of you have heard of our story and haven't given yet, if you'd be willing to consider giving, all of it would go towards tuition. And tuition is $90,000 for the program, possibly a little more depending on if tuition raises over the course of the program, but that's how much it is right now. And about 15,000 a year for each year of part-time work. So we'll be doing our best to minimize loans for the future years of the program, but if we can get support, we would love to minimize that debt and be able to continue pursuing this PhD without having to worry about how it's, affecting our future goal as a family of five. And so your continued support or new support would be much appreciated. And there's also a small possibility that we might raise enough to move to Scotland at some point in his program. The supervisor did say that we could try to move there at any point in his program if it became financially feasible. So that's still maybe a bit of a tempered hope or pipe dream, but at the very least, any support going towards tuition is so much appreciated, and we really feel so encouraged by the prayers, the encouragement, and the generosity that you have given so far. So, thank you.